Many people accuse modern children of selfishness, that if you give them free rein, they will spend all of the family resources on themselves and their own wants. Parents complain that their children have stopped helping around the house, and they spend all day on phones and computers and do not think about how hard it is for their parents to earn money for their needs. But are all teenagers like this? Are children able to be compassionate and think about the needs of their family and others? What do their actions depend on? Upbringing? The example of their parents? Or are they taught this at school? To prove that teenagers are selfish, a group of comedians decided to conduct an interesting experiment. The idea was to go to a store and choose a random teenager to put as many things in a cart as they could in under 3 minutes, and then they would pay for it and give it to him. This, of course, was not an act of goodwill, but an act to collect as much evidence of their claim as possible. But that day, they miscalculated, and it was clear that they were very wrong. For their experiment, they chose a Target store. At the appointed time, they went into the store, installed cameras between the shelves so as not to miss important moments of filming, and then they began to walk in the aisles in search of a suitable candidate. Of course, they tried to find a suitable teenager who, from their point of view, would certainly not let them down and fill his basket with frivolous things such as junk food, computer games, a phone or laptop, cool sneakers, and other things that would make any teen happy. With this in mind, they searched for the perfect candidate. Then, in the video game aisle, they found a boy with fair hair. He looked at the games with such desire and hope that the comedians had no doubt that as soon as the clock started, he would immediately pour all of the contents of those shelves into his basket. They even made a bet amongst themselves how many games he would have time to put in the cart. But what the boy did instead, absolutely no one expected to see. They approached him and asked him to participate in a challenge that they were conducting for their channel. They quickly explained to the boy all of the rules, that he only had 3 minutes, and during this time he could put anything he wanted into his cart. As soon as the timer counted down exactly 3 minutes, time would stop and they would pay for all the goods that were in it. The boy looked at them for a long time in disbelief, and then asked again what kinds of goods could be put in the basket, making sure that he could at least go around the entire store and put absolutely anything that he wanted inside. When he was fully convinced they were telling the truth, he immediately agreed. He asked them to give him a couple of minutes to collect his thoughts. After 2 minutes, the comedians pressed the start button on the timer. They started to film the boy in full confidence that now he would start throwing video games into his cart. Then he would go to the sweets and soda department and fill the cart more there. But the boy, against all their expectations, grabbed his cart and ran across the store to the household goods department. At first, the comedians did not understand where the boy ran to so quickly because the games department, where he was standing for so long, was right there. Where, and more importantly, why did he run away? But the boy knew exactly where he was running. Having run into the household goods, he quickly grabbed all possible means for cleaning a house, for floors, walls, and other surfaces. Then he ran to the baby department and swept various cereals and purees for babies from the shelves into the cart. He went to the next aisle, grabbing the largest package of diapers, and then put them in the basket too. Running past the electronics department again, the teen managed to even remove a microwave from the shelf and carefully put it in the cart. Next, he ran to the children's clothing department, where he collected all kinds of clothes and shoes for a small child. Time was swiftly approaching the end, and at the last second, he managed to put a large frying pan and some food in the cart. The comedians were just shocked by the selections of this boy. None of them guessed what the boy would put in his cart. They expected a completely different result. The whole experiment, one might say, was spoiled. The boy did not confirm any of their guesses. The comedians were so surprised that they rushed to immediately find out what he was guided by when he collected these things. To this, the teenager replied that he lives in a rather poor family. Every day he comes to the store not to buy anything because he has no money, but just to look at the latest video games. He would study all the inscriptions on their boxes. But when he was faced with the choice of what to put in his cart, first of all he thought about his mother, who finds it very difficult to keep the house clean without special means, and secondly, it's very difficult for her to heat food without a microwave. His mother also had an old and worn frying pan, so he decided to get her a new one. The baby clothes, diapers, and baby food were intended for his younger brother, who was just recently born. Since the boy did not know the exact size he needed, he simply decided to take more clothes of slightly larger sizes so that his brother had something to wear as he grew up. When the comedians asked why he did not put at least a few computer games for himself, because in fact he had not taken anything for himself at all, the boy replied that he could wait for his desires, but his mother needed these items now. The comedians were disappointed that they did not succeed in the planned video, but were able to create an even better one. After all, this video shows us that teenagers are compassionate and understanding, and they are able to think about their loved ones more than themselves. Of course, the comedians paid for the whole basket for the boy as agreed at the very beginning, and the boy, having collected the packages, soon ran home to show his mother. This story showed us that no matter what upbringing a teenager may have, they are quite capable of thinking about their family and not just themselves. Friends, if you enjoyed this story, please click like, share what you think about it in the comments, subscribe to our channel if you have not done so yet, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so as not to miss our new videos.